It is Blue Bunny Gamer Girl here. Right now I am spinning in my computer chair. Just I don't know, but that is beside the point. I hope everyone is doing well on this day. Before I get started, I would just like to say that this is going to be a different type of video. Everybody has the opportunity to voice their own opinions, which is what I'm going to be doing. So for the past couple of days, I have been very sick, feeling very icky, so there's not that much that I could do except for just try to get this cold out of me and channel surf. And when I say channel surf, I mean catch up on some of my favorite TV series, movies like Jane the Virgin, The Walking Dead, or The Andy Griffin Show, you know, things like that. The other day, I came across this movie called Bobbi Kristina. The movie came out on October 8th. I can only bring myself to go about a good halfway through the movie before I just had to stop and give my mind some type of fair ground because I was seriously about to flip. When you see movies about someone who has lived life, they were a celebrity, but then they have passed away, it sends a cold chill up my spine. Being a 90s kid, my mom would always put on Whitney Houston, Luther Vandross, Michael Jackson. We were doing chores or cooking dinner for Sundays so that the family could visit. My mom was a big fan of Whitney Houston. Growing up, my favorite movie would have to be Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella. I seen her in that movie. She was a fairy godmother. She was amazing. She was beautiful. Taking you guys back to like a year ago, my mother and I sat down. We were in the living room watching Whitney, which, as you may know, is a life story of Whitney Houston. They made her out to be this humongous drug addicted person, which I just could not believe. I cannot sit there and watch that movie and believe the lies that the movie was trying to feed me. If you think about it, if you're a singer, there's certain things that you have to do, vocal exercises, all of that good stuff to maintain your voice. One of Whitney Houston's worst performances was like in 2010 in England where she sung and it just didn't work anymore. Whitney's movie was supposed to be based in the late 80s, early 90s, where she was really on drugs. Like that's what they wanted us to think. When you're on drugs like that, I mean, in my head, I would just assume that your voice would crack way earlier than that. I mean, during this time, she made The Bodyguard, she made Cinderella, she was in different movies, even Sparkle, and she was absolutely beautiful in that movie. For them to put out the movie of Whitney after she had passed away, knowing that she doesn't have any type of say-so, like, stop, this is fabricated, this is not true, this is exaggerated, I don't want this in the movie, take it out because it's not true. When you don't give a person that opportunity, it's like taking away their self-respect, morals, dignity, everything out the window. People are just telling you what they want you to hear. So when I came across the movie Bobbi Kristina, there were different scenes in the movie that were emotional, sentimental. I had seen this part where Bobbi Kristina was sitting on the steps with Whitney and they were talking about how she was going to change herself for her daughter. In the scene, there is only Bobbi Kristina and Whitney Houston. There's nobody else around. How are you feeling comfortable with putting this in a movie and you don't even know if it happened or not? Facts, you put that in the movie. Bobbi Kristina and Whitney Houston are no longer alive. They get absolutely nothing from both of these movies. And when you see different stories or different movies that are like that, James Brown, the life story of James Brown, Get Up on It, or I forgot what it's called, but there's one of him, there's one of Tina Turner, directed by somebody else other than them. You can go to Toni Braxton. She produced her own story, Unbreak My Heart. You could see the different situations, like when her father cheated on her mother, the anger, the destruction that happened, how they had to rebuild their family. Every main character in that movie is still alive and they had to say, so, you know, Tony, this is how I felt. I want you to put this in the movie because I feel like it's a crucial part of something that made you greater, something that pushed you to be who you are today. Like a strong suit, I want you to put this in. But when you just have a person who just is festered and controlled by greed, You don't have that connection. Or was it just a person who decided, I'm gonna make a movie about Bobbi Kristina and put this in the movie because I assume this is what she said, because I assume this is what she did on that day, because I just feel like it would hit the viewers and make them want to pay for the movie because it was so emotional. In the movie, you have Nick, who is Bobbi Kristina's supposed brother, but then turns into her boyfriend somehow. Bobbi Kristina got so manipulated. She trusted him. Her mother just passed away, and he took advantage of her. The last time I seen Nick active in anything was on Dr. Phil, where he threw this whole entire major breakdown or whatever the case may be. I'm sorry. Some people may have different opinions about it. It would just feel so much more believable if it came out Bobbi Kristina's herself. This is definitely a different type of video. I did not know that I would be even making this type of video. When you see things that are happening through two people that's supposed to be private and sacred, like when a daughter tells her mother that she just started her period, or something like between a mother and a daughter, you expect it to stay between the two, not being exposed and fabricated and exaggerated. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have seen the movie, how do you feel about it? We Winning Nation lives forever.